Well, howdy and welcome. I'm the virtual reality medic. You know, one of the things that my students always said they had a tough time understanding was nodal blocks, right? So, how does it look on the ECG? Why does it happen like that? What's going on? Help us out, virtual reality medic. No problem. So, if you look at the heart, right, you see you have the SA node. So, here's our SA node over here, the AV node's right there. The atrioventricular bundle, or some people call it the bundle of His, and then the bundle branches, they kind of come down here, and then the fascicular branches, or the Purkinje network, the Purkinje fibers. Well, let's turn that off real quick so that we can see things just a little clearer here. Okay, so in normal sinus rhythm, watch the AV node, watch the SA node here, the AV node, watch. The SA node fires, look at that, goes right through the AV node. The AV node checks it real quick and then just lets it go. And so what I get on my ECG is I get a nice P wave, right, because it's coming from the SA node. And then I get a nice narrow QRS complex, beautiful there. And then you can see a nice T wave kind of comes after that. All right, well, let's take a look at what's happening when I'm in first degree block. Now watch. This is first degree. So there, see that? There you go. The SA node fired, and the AV node, it kind of delayed just a little bit, but it still went through, right? Still went through normally, right? Went down the bundle branches into the Purkinje network, went normal. All right. Okay, so now let's change that. Let's change that over to second degree type 1. Now, on that last one, on that first degree, what we saw in the ECG was just a little bit of a delay between the P wave and the QRS complex, right? Because of that delay. But look at what's happening here, right? The SA node just fired, right? It got delayed in the AV node, and then it delayed a little bit more. That's a little longer that time. And then, oh, it didn't go at all. Wow, that didn't go through. Oh, and then it comes back and look. A little more delayed. Okay, so it gets a longer and longer look to it, right? So watch, because here comes the ECG. So there's the P wave, there's the QRS. You gotta get some distance between it there, some extra distance, right? You want it to be inside. You want the P wave and the QRS complex to fall inside the same big box here, right? And it's definitely not doing that. You got a little more delay, and then look, no QRS complex. Where'd it go? You got a fire, there's one right there, right? What happened? Well, you're having a miscommunication here in the AV node. So the SA node is firing, but the AV node is not quite always communicating to the ventricles, to the Purkinje network there, okay? And when it does, it sort of slows down a little bit more. Well, let's look at a second degree type 2. Because this is usually where my students have trouble, is like second degree type 1 versus second degree type 2. So watch here. Fires SA node, oh, blocked. SA node normal, look, that goes through normal, right? SA node, oh, it got blocked there, didn't it? SA node blocked in the AV node again. SA node fires, and then it goes through normal through the AV node, right? So what do you get on your ECG? You get a P wave. Whoa, no QRS complex. Then you get a P wave and a QRS complex, and they're within that same big box, which is good, 0.20. That's what we want. Oh, look, there's a fire, nice QRS. But look. There's no QRS complex there. No QRS complex there. That means that sometimes there's a full block at the AV node. That's not good. That's getting worse. Well, because it could turn into something like this. Look at this. Here's a third degree. Okay, so SA node fires and it's blocked. SA node fires, it's blocked. Does it ever go through? No, it doesn't. The SA node fires, there's a complete heart block. That's why some people will call this a complete heart block, right? But remember, the ventricles, they have their own intrinsic rate. So the ventricles can fire, and that's what this is showing here. You see what looks like this mist kind of coming up here? This is the ventricles firing. But they fire much slower, don't they? About 20 to 40 beats per minute. So what happens is you're going to start to see, here it comes. There's a P wave, no QRS. P wave, no QRS, but the P waves are doing their own thing. They're coming at the right time. Look, there's a QRS complex. Now, some people say, well, that's a narrow complex. That doesn't happen in third degree. Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it absolutely does. And it can happen when that foci that's creating the ventricular beat is real high up here, okay? So yeah, you see there's a narrow complex in this one. A lot of times it does look wide, and it looks wide because when the electrical signal comes from the ventricles, it looks wider on the ECG, okay? Well, hey, listen, that's part one. Coming back for part two and figure out why that trash bag, hey, who put the trash bag on the chair? Why would you put a trash bag on a chair? Hello? Hey, what's going on with this guy?